Hello, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to another video. And today, I'm going to be reviewing, or critiquing, in this case, Fast and Furious 9. Yes, yet another fucking installment, and there's still one more to go. Bruh, like, I think by the time they reach the 10th installment, they would have definitely been reaching the point of, yeah, you should probably end the series now. Right, so, kick back, relax, and let's get into this. So, where do we begin with this? Well, the movie starts and has Dom and Letty at their house, located wherever, because, yeah, I pay attention. No, I'm kidding. I don't even think it says. But do we really fucking care anyway? No. Yeah. So they're there, and they've got their, or Dom's got his child, as well there, and they're on a sort of break type thing. They're just living their life and enjoying it as, you know, they do as a family. In this scene, we also see some Dodge Chargers. Uh, Particularly, I believe, of 1969 and 1970. There's two of them. One of them has a BDS blower on it, like a 871 or something like that, which is a throwback to, or looks like a throwback to about Fast and Furious 4 kind of look, and Fast and Furious 7 kind of a look, which you'll see on screen when I edit this. Yeah, and the other one is a sort of a brand new charger that hasn't been seen before, that was specially made, or is like brand new for this movie, the Charger, which has a mid-engined engine, which I find to be very interesting indeed. But we'll get to that eventually. So what happens from there? Well, from there they Tyrese, Ludacris, and Ramsey pull up in a Jeep and virtually, basically inform them that Mr. Nobody has gone off the radar, his plane's crashed, and there's this thing called Ares, or Ares, which, if you don't know, is the god of war. That's a computer manipulation program, essentially. That is what it is. And they've got to get it and blah blah blah. So that's basically becomes the plot. And when I say plot, I mean it as sarcasm, because literally it provides no plot point whatsoever. So yeah, from there, then some shit happens in the rest of the movie, and yeah, to sum it up, basically, Dom meets his brother, played by John Cena. John Cena!
And his name is John Cena!
Sorry, I had to. And learns that his brother's a villain and blah blah blah, and he's working stuff, and Cypher's back in this movie, even though she spends pretty much the entire movie in a box until the last scene where they're driving, when they're driving to stop the big armored truck that has the Ares inside it. Yeah. Then she flies this fucking plane-looking drone thing, and the big armored truck takes it out and blows it up. But everyone thinks, oh, Cypher's dead, but no, she just hops out of a plane simulator and is still alive. So obviously she's going to be the villain in Fast and Furious 10, probably, once again. And hopefully this time they'll kill her off, because I'm sick and tired of her coming back. No offense to Charlize Theron, because I have nothing against the actor. She's a fantastic actor. If you haven't seen Mad Max Fury Road, then check that out, because that's one of her works that I think's really good. But anyway, yeah, her character keeps coming back too much. Speaking of coming back, that becomes our next topic. Yeah, Han's still alive. Oh my god, big plot twist, and not like we didn't see that one coming from the posters and the trailer. Yeah, so basically, how does he survive the crash? Well, he wasn't in the car, even though he was in the car. It was set up by Mr. Nobody, and he was in fact going under the radar. So basically, they planned his death, and he survived and decided to be dead until it was time for him to be needed again, aka this movie. Also, can I point out the fact of bringing Han alive again just to serve as a plot point really pisses me off, because this is the second time he's fucking come alive again. Like, you killed him off in Tokyo Drift, and then you brought him back in the fourth movie, to then kill him off again in the sixth movie, in the credits scene, and say that it was Deckard Shaw's fault, when we all saw the third movie and knew that it was some random woman in in the same car that crashed into you. But yeah, then they blamed it on Deckard, so then that's fine, okay, he's dead now. And then we get to the ninth movie, and he's alive again. This series really knows how to throw so many goddamn oofing spanners in the works. Like, really pisses me off. I mean, I'm glad Han's back, because I love Han's character, but the fact that he's back is also just annoying, because you just keep killing characters and bringing them back. It's not cool. It's like the whole Letty thing again. You know, you killed Letty off in the fourth film to bring her back in the sixth as a villain, and now, and then she's been back ever since. Speaking of bringing back, it was an interesting plot point, or not plot point, it was an interesting thing to bring in at the end of the film. At the end of the film, they did the Fast and Furious 6 outro, where they were sitting around the table at their house, which is 1321. Yeah, and it seems that they're rebuilding it now after it got exploded in Fast and Furious 7. So it looks like they're going to be back at that house again. But anyway, to continue, basically, we see everyone arrive, and then there's a seat left over, who we assume is for Dom's brother, but we don't actually find out. All we get is a shot of a blue R34 GTR that rolls up into the driveway, and that's how the film ends. So they left us on a cliffhanger for Fast 10. Of course, Universal, of course you would do that. And of course, you would have to make us think whether or not it's Dom's brother or it's Brian O'Connor. Yeah, because newsflash, that's who I think it is. I think they're going to bring back Brian O'Connor in the final film, because why the fuck not? They've literally defied all physics in these films, and defied all reality and what happens in real life to the absolute fucking maximum. So what? Let's bring Brian O'Connor back. Let's bring Paul Walker's character back, because why the fuck not? I mean, we killed him off. We killed him off in the seventh movie because he died in real life. Hashtag rest in peace to Paul. It's still a tragedy. But let's bring his character back, because yeah. Because just because we can. And speaking of defying the laws of physics, this brings me to my very much criticism plot point of I keep saying plot point. God damn it! Why do I say plot? Sorry, it really pisses me off. This brings me to my huge criticism about the movie, is the breaking of physics laws. Right. So where should we start? I think we'll start with the classic bridge. No, even before that, we'll start with the landmines. So you had 5 cars casually drive over what is essentially a minefield, and all of these cars pretty much end up unscathed, apart from Tyrese, who gets bombed by one of them and whatever, and somehow ends up between 2 cliff faces and dies but doesn't die, lol. You'll have to watch the movie to obviously find out what I'm on about, because I'm terrible at explaining. But yeah, so we just have casually like 5 cars driving through a minefield, and they come out unscathed. Yet we literally see about 4 or 5 jeeps that, in hot pursuit of them, get blown up by landmines through various forms as they're driving through this. So firstly, anyone who knows shit about minefields knows that if you drive a car through them, even if you avoid a minefield, if you set one off, you I'm sorry, you're probably gonna get blown up. You're in the vicinity of a fucking minefield. A minefield, I don't know the blast radius of a minefield, but I know it's big enough to the fact that that is not possible. You cannot survive a fucking minefield. Even still, it would blow your car, even still, it would blow up your car to the point that you wouldn't be able to drive it anymore. You would be in the hospital, is what I'm saying. So that's my first critique of physics. Then we get to the bridge scene, where they're escaping from one side to the other. So obviously, Dominic's brother makes off by hitting the edge of the cliff in his 2015 Mustang that's blue, and gets magnetized to a plane and leaves, basically. And then you have Ludacris in the like Jeep sort of a Wrangler thing. I don't even know at this point. A grey off-road sort of Baja type vehicle, and casually drives over a bridge as it's getting destroyed. Once again, Fast and Furious breaking physics. We love to see it. Because, I'm sorry, but you cannot drive over a goddamn bridge that's collapsing in on itself. There's a thing called gravity, and gravity would play a bigger part than your acceleration, I'm sorry. So, you should be in the bottom of that ocean and either dead or having to swim out of a car. And then, just when you thought that wasn't ludicrous enough, great pun there, Dominic decided, oh, let's break the laws of physics even better and have a fucking grappling to the side of his goddamn Charger. 2015 Charger Hellcat. Yeah, he just decides, yeah, let's just break the laws of physics and use it as a grappling hook to grapple ourselves from one side to the other. No, no. That's not how it works. Again, firstly, to even know that that's there and to hit the plot point in the and to hit the sort of bridge bollard thing that has the cable on it to lock up into your wheel precisely is a near impossible feat. So realistically, what should have happened is he should have crashed through that bollard and then gone flying off of the cliff and crashed into the ocean. Kind of similar to what happened in Fast and Furious 5. I shall play that scene here so you get what I'm on about. Yeah, so they definitely broke the laws of physics there. And then, to continue on, there's not to mention the amount of magnetism that was in this movie, like magnetized objects getting flown around and cars getting magnetized into one another. No, again, breaking the laws of physics. Because, I'm sorry, but, alright, the biggest one I need to get out of the way is the fact they flipped an entire armored truck, and I'm saying an armored truck here, with, like, multiple carriers. It's probably like a solid 28-wheeler, or 24-wheeler, and they flipped the entire fucking armored thing using two magnets on the front of it, one from a Supra, and the other from Dom's Charger. That is complete bullshit. That's not how physics work. Physics do not design... Look, okay, when Isaac Newton discovered the laws of physics, he did not sit here going, in 100 years, maybe we'll be able to see an armored truck get flipped. That is not what happens. I'm sorry, but that was some big B-fucking-S. That was about as much BS as jumping the Lycan Hypersport through 3 fucking hotel buildings. Yes, that one is more possible, but the chances of you pulling it off successfully are virtually impossible. Whereas this stunt is impossible to do. I'm sorry. You can... Like, that armored truck probably weighs easily maybe 20 ton. It's got to be at least 10 ton. So we'll play it safe and go 15 ton. You cannot lift a 15-ton truck with 2 magnets the size of what they were using in the film, even turned up to the maximum setting. So yeah, no, that was bullshit. Also, sucking a car with a magnet through an entire building, a GT86, into a fucking truck. That was a pile of bullshit as well, because one, the car is bound to hit something in the building and be stopped, and two, how are you going to tell me a car's going to jump into a trailer and not come flying out the other side and just rest in the trailer? Yeah. Like, bruh. No. That's physics again. That's not how physics work. It should go flying out the other side of the goddamn lorry and end up in the street. So that was BS. And then not to mention the countless other times they use the magnets to attract cars to them and push them away into cars on the street. Again, breaking physics, because, well, I get you can build really strong magnets, but I don't believe you can build such a strong magnet to move an entire car, at least that I know of, at that is moving at a constant speed, mind you, or accelerating. So yeah. Yeah, again, the physics of this movie was really a big letdown for me. Not to mention the fact that they brought Cardi B in for a cameo. Okay, and I'm about to offend all Cardi B fans, so if you're a Cardi B fan, click off in 3, 2, 1, now. Right, what the fuck was Cardi B doing in this movie? Why? Why? You could have had any other fucking camo from a musical artist. Bruh, I wouldn't even care if you had fucking Skepta or ASAP Rocky in that fucking position. But you gave us Cardi B, a person whose music, to me, is distasteful and fucking bland as fuck, and talks about sex every second sentence. And if you don't agree with me, go listen to WAP, because it's literally whack. Honestly, that song is just sex summed up in a song. But yeah, anyway, so she's on the screen for all of about 30 seconds to save someone's bacon, Dom's being that person's being the bacon here, from being held by the police or Interpol. Yeah, so her character, what I'm saying is her character or her cameo was literally the most pointless thing ever. And the fact that Cardi B was in this film just really grinds my gears and takes my rating of it down. So, now that I've gotten that out the way, I will move on to the final criticism I have of this movie. You put a fucking Pontiac Fiero. Not to mention that, you gave the Pontiac Fiero rockets, and then said, I know, let's put a Pontiac Fiero on top of a freaking aircraft and send it into space with rockets on the back. Okay, now I'm not a NASA scientist, don't get me wrong, I am not a NASA scientist, but I'm pretty sure strapping rockets to a Pontiac Fiero and launching it into space is definitely, once again, a defy of physics, because no, and no. And then you collided it with a satellite, and they're perfectly fine, they survive and whatnot, and get picked up at the end of the movie. Not to mention the fact they're wearing minion suits as well in the car, which is just, yep. Also, this brings back pretty much the entire cast of Tokyo Drift gets cameos in here, now as rocket scientists, which brings me to my next point. Why did they bring back the Tokyo Drift cast to have them working as rocket scientists when literally the whole epitome of what they came from was drifting in Tokyo? Or, yeah, or basically sending the car sideways in Tokyo. Yeah, that was literally the whole premise of those characters. But now they're working as rocket scientists. Again, another terrible cameo, but I kind of didn't mind it for the fact that it brought their characters back, which is cool. It's nice to see them like bringing all the characters back in because, you know, it brings back that whole virtue of family. So that's one thing it kind of got right. But also, at the same time, the fucking cameos were shit, and the amount of characters who have died and come back alive in these film franchises is getting fucking absurd. Like, you may as well bring freaking Giselle's character back. You may as well bring her back from the dead in the next fucking film. Honestly, that's how insane we've gotten in these bloody films into the like realism. Like Han burns and dies in a car, brought back alive. It's fucking ridiculous. So after all of that critique, what did this movie get right? Well, I think some people have said the flashbacks in this film are terrible. I think the flashbacks help make this film. Because without the flashback of Han's death, we wouldn't know how Han survived his accident and is therefore still alive. So that was an important plot point. Also, we finally got a look at Dom's father's death and as to why it happened. So big spoiler alert here, it was Dom's brother who essentially was a antagonist. No, not antagonist, a colleague in his father's death. His father basically wanted to die, so he enlisted the help of Dom's brother to basically cut some fuel line or whatever, so that when he got crashed in the NASCAR race, his car blew up and he died. So we finally found out the backstory to that. And that's a backstory that's connected all the way back from the very first fucking film when Dom and Brian are in the garage talking and Dom mentions about his father. So I really like that tie-in. That was a really good tie-in. So that's something this movie got right. Also, as much as it painfully annoys me to say, they also got the cars right in this film. They finally gave us back some Japanese domestic market, or JDM for short, with Han driving a 2020 Toyota Supra, or a Mark V Supra, which we also see Dom's brother drive with the magnet scene. Yeah, that car was sick, and I like the fact that it was red and black, like Han's RX-7 from Tokyo Drift, the one that he got killed, not killed in. Yeah, so that was cool to see. Uh, Obviously, there were a lot of dodges in this film, as some have already mentioned, being Dom's various charges. There were about 3 charges in the movie. There was a 69, I think there might have been 70 as well, and there was for the first time a very early model charger of a 66 or 67 that was used in the street race that uh, Dom and uh, Dom and his brother had, which is another flashback that we see in the film. Dom's brother drives an 86, 80 to 89 kind of Ford Mustang. It's like from the Fox Body era. I'll find one and put it on screen so you can get it. Yeah. Apart from that, we also see a 2015 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat. We see various off-road vehicles like Jeeps and stuff. We also see Michelle Rodriguez drive a 1970 or 69 Chevy Nova, which was cool. It's silver with black stripes. Uh, Dom's brother, before he became his main car for the film, rather, was a 2015 Ford Mustang, which was blue with a white stripe and had a wing on the rear. The wing wasn't really doing it for me, I have to be honest, but yeah. Uh, as for other cars, there was a Acura Nsx that Tej drove, or Ludacris's character, and we see that make a cameo for about 20 seconds in the movie. Yep. So that car was pretty pointless and being in the film. Letty also drives a dirt bike during the landmine field scene. And then, last but not least, in terms of cars, we have Helen Mirren's character, who drives a Noble M600, a purple one with kind of like yellow gold accents, which I think is a very unique and cool car to see in the film because Noble is, a one-off company that made that car, the M600, back in 2013, with a top speed of, I think, about 237, 47, something like that. It's pretty quick, is the point I'm getting at here. Yeah, but that car was made in Leicester or something like that. But it's a really cool car and an interesting and unique car to the series, I feel. So yeah, there were many cool cars in this film. So For me, this film had some really good cars in it. It's probably the best film in terms of cars since. I don't know. Well, Fast 8 didn't really have anything too crazy in terms of cars that I can remember. It had a Murcielago and the other thing. I mean, nothing, again, as I've always said, nothing will outdo the first three movies. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. It had some good cars in it, and I won't compare it to any other films. Maybe that's a video idea I should do. Is I should rate all of the cars that are featured in Fast and Furious films. Now, that would take so much time to do, but I might consider it. Also, I might end up doing a Fast and Furious movie tier list, but I kind of want to save that till after the 10 films come out, so that might be a couple years away, that video. So yeah, now I guess I'll get into my final thoughts about the movie. So, I've watched a few other videos about this film, and, its, various things that it has right and wrong. And honestly, a lot of people were kicking down this movie and saying that it's the worst Fast and Furious film to be put out there. And for once, I'm actually going to agree with that statement. Yeah, this might be one of the worst Fast and Furious films to come out. Like, I kind of want to say it's better than Fate of the Furious, in my opinion, because I found Fate of the Furious to be a very boring movie to watch. Whereas this one, I actually had a bit of enjoyment in watching for the fact it reunited some of the old characters and the cars and a few good quality banterous jokes here and there. Some people don't like Tej and Tyrese's Tej and Roman Pierce's banter, but I actually quite enjoy it. Some of their throwback lines back and forth are kind of funny. It gives me a good laugh. So yeah. But as for this movie, definitely it had a bit right, but unfortunately it's one of those movies that had too many wrongs to commit a right. In other words, two wrongs don't make a right. That's what this movie felt like. Is it was so loosely put together without any major plot point and any actual like movies are supposed to make you feel an emotion. This movie didn't make me feel an emotion. It just felt like I was strapped along in a seatbelt for the ride of 2.5 hours of action, more or less, because that is what Fast and Furious films have turned into. And this film literally takes the word action and turns it up to about 40, because it's non-stop action throughout the entire film. And let's not forget, Dom just leaves his child behind to go on this bloody quest to avenge himself against his brother and bloody Cypher and whatever else, and leaves his child at home. His child could be bloody killed or whatever, but yeah, he's just gonna casually leave and be alright with that. And there are so many other things in this movie that it's just wrong. So, if I were to put this on a ratings chart of my favorite Fast films, this would probably be close to the bottom. I'm not gonna lie. Of course, I enjoy watching every Fast and Furious film because they're all good films to me. Because I like most of the actors that are in these films, so I feel like that brings up my enjoyment. But at the end of the day, when it comes to rating these movies, I have to get serious with it, so this is one of the worst Fast movies that has been released. And out of a score of we'll go 10 as well. We'll do 10 for movie scores as well. I was thinking of doing 100, but no, we'll go 10. Out of a score of 10, I would probably give this film it's going to be really harsh, but probably about a 4 out of 10. Yeah, it was. I feel like most of that 4 points is coming from the quality banter, the cars, and the flashbacks. The entire movie itself was just meh. It was like a low meh to a high trash. That's how I felt about this, if I were to rate it. So yeah, where does this leave Fast and Furious for the future? Well, we all know that this saga is coming to an end with the next film. Whenever that gets finished, I believe it should be around 2023. Fuck it, I may as well Google in the video. It says 2022, so I guess that's when it's coming out. Yep, probably 2022 or 2023. So there we go. So 2022 looks to be the date, so next year. And hopefully we finally get to see a quality ending to the series, and I hope they don't overdo it with action scenes, because I'm sorry, but I think it would be fantastic to end the series the way it started, back at its roots, would be the best thing for the series, I think. To go back to the idea of street racing and what the series began as those 20 years ago. But obviously, that's up to Universal and whoever directs the film to decide that one. But it still will never take away the fact that the first three films will always be the best three, because the original Fast and Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, and Tokyo Drift are just the best films. Why? Because they actually focused on car culture, which is what the series was founded on. Without the magazine article about street racing called like Race X or something that this whole series was founded on, it wouldn't exist today. And that's why those films will always be the best, because they were about car culture, and there wasn't an emphasis on car action. Or just action, sorry, not car action sequences. So it was actually enjoyable. And not to mention, the stories were actually kind of good too. And it actually made you feel something. A bit, I suppose. And of course, that was back when Brian O'Connor was alive, so it made this story that much better too. Because everyone loved Paul Walker as an actor. But yeah, that's gonna pretty much wrap up. Nah, it's not. I actually have one more piece I forgot to mention, and that's how did I feel about the new actors that came into this film? Well, firstly, John Cena's character, his portrayal of Dom's brother, I thought was not too bad. He definitely fitted into the character well, and definitely played the part. It still didn't make the movie that much better, if I'm honest, but he definitely did well in his part, so I can't deny that. Um, Cardi B's cameo, as I gave the scathing review earlier, you know already how I feel about her. Her addition, not very good. There were the two actors that were used to play the flashback scene. I thought their portrayal of it was very good. They did an amazing job. And then of course we had a new character, which was Han's presumed, I believe, girlfriend. Yes, it was Han's girlfriend, his new one to replace Giselle, obviously, because she's dead. But yeah, who's played by Anna Sawai, yeah, in the film, and her character is another example of a badass woman in this film, with her martial arts skills that we get see displayed, and oh my gosh, the bloody bone crunching and pan smacking that went on in that scene was it was an action delight. It's still not the best action scenes I've seen with those type of things, but it was still pretty sick, I'll give you that. To watch strong female woman just bloody smash up a whole bunch of men. This ain't a sexist thing or a feministic thing, but I just thought it was really cool. Yeah, that's pretty much all the characters. So at this point, that uh concludes my review critique of Fast and Furious 9. And I guess we'll have to wait till the 10th installment to find out whether or not they can salvage what's left of a pretty broken and bruised, battered film franchise that's trying to pick up the pieces of itself after this film. So, if you enjoyed this arguably scathing review, like the many other ones I've seen, then click the like button down below, and also while you're at it, comment what your guys' opinions slash reviews are of this film yourself, and I'll be sure to have a look and agree or disagree with you in the comments. And if you enjoy my content, be sure to click the subscribe button, because I have much more content coming out soon when I can get time, because I'm still in school and finding time in my life is clearly difficult, as you can see by my inconsistent, terrible upload schedule. But yeah, until my next video, I've been that automotive guy signing off. Goodbye.